Hey guys, it's Genesis with Peas in a Pod. There's a lot of talk about intelligence. Then there's emotional intelligence. But there's something new that's buzzing around, that's becoming more popular in many places. Cultural intelligence. And this is what we here at Peas in a Pod want to help you deepen. So for this episode, I'd like to talk about words and phrases with double meanings. These are basically words and phrases that have more than one meaning. The first meaning is usually the official dictionary meaning, but the second meaning and the other meanings after it are colloquial meanings, which are the unofficial, informal meanings that people use for ordinary conversations. So tune in for today's episode, and we're going to talk about 4 words and phrases with double meanings, and I'll also close up for a few tips on how to detect and understand double meanings when you hear them in conversation. So the first phrase I'd like to cover is, tell me about it. Tell me about it has 2 meanings. The first official meaning is, well, tell me more. And the second is, well, you agree with the person. For example, somebody may come up to you and say, I've had such a bad day today. And then you can tell them, well, tell me about it. Or somebody can say, oh my gosh, I hate that guy so much. And then you can agree and say, oh my gosh, yeah, tell me about it. I hate him too. You see? So what I usually watch out for is the tone. If people want me to actually tell them more about it, then they're usually going to use the same voice tone they use when they're asking questions or when they're showing concern. Like, hey, how are you? Hey, tell me about it. So that's more of a concerned tone of voice. This is a questioning tone of voice. Hey, how's it going? Hey, tell me about it. Then, if people are just showing that they agree with you, then most of the time what I hear is a neutral voice tone or an excited voice tone, such as, tell me about it, or tell me about it. So the second phrase is, shut up! This can mean to stop talking, to be quiet, or it's an expression that you find something so shocking you can't believe it. If somebody sounds angry, then they'll probably sound like, Genesis, shut up. Or Genesis, shut up. But if I tell them, guys, I'm pregnant, they'll be like, shut up? Well, I can't get pregnant. Or if I tell them, guys, I'm getting married, shut up. Or hey guys, I just got a new car, shut up. I feel like in that tone of voice, there's a mix of happiness and surprise. And of course, I also look at the people's facial expressions. If there's a smile and if there's surprise in their eyes, the shut up usually means that they're shocked and again, they can't believe it. So here's another example, and I challenge you to guess what this is. Hey, Amy and Ben got married. Shut up! Well, what do you think? Okay. The third thing I'd like to bring up is a word that still confuses me even when I hear it. It's date. So date, officially it's the day of the month. It's also a fruit. But where it gets really confusing is that a date can be a social, purely friendly, or even professional social engagement, or it could be romantic. When my friends tell me, hey, I'm dating someone, more often than not, I'll ask them in one way or another what they mean. So I'll ask them things like, so do you have a new boyfriend, girlfriend? Do you mean you're talking to somebody right now, you're getting to know people? Because I could be dating my girlfriend, or I can be dating a bunch of people, getting to know who they are. I could be eating a date, or I could be talking about the upcoming date for our business meeting. Also, date isn't just a noun, it's also a verb. So you can say, she's my date. But you can also say, I'm going to date her. So when it comes to using date as a verb, it usually means that you have some type of romantic engagement or relationship with the person. So this is the third, one of my favorite and also most confusing terms, which has a double meaning. Okay, so the last word I'd like to talk about is dead. There are many meanings to this word. You may be surprised, and the most obvious one is yes, you're dead. You've stopped living, as in you have no more pulse, as in you're not breathing. Easy enough, alright? But it could also mean that something is extremely boring. You can say, bro, this party's dead. Let's get out of here. But on the opposite hand, it can also mean that something is so funny you feel like you're dying laughing. And for me, sometimes I laugh so hard that it hurts. If somebody cracks a really funny joke, you can say, I'm dying, as you are literally dying of laughter. Okay guys, the last thing I'd like to cover is how to detect and understand double meanings when you hear them. One of the first things you can look out for is if you hear a word and the official definition or the definition which you've learned really does not fit the context of the sentence, of the situation. The second sign is if everyone else around you or most other people around you are showing signs of understanding and connecting and you're not. You feel awkward, sadly. Now here's what you do when you spot, when you detect the word. The first thing to do, and I think it's the quickest thing to do, is to just ask people what they mean. Honestly, I know that for some of us, it may feel kind of embarrassing to ask people what they mean. You might feel like you'll stick out, you might feel like you'll look stupid, but honestly, I think that for most of the sensible Americans that we talk to, they're gonna be nice enough to understand that you're a foreigner, that English is your second language, and that you need the help, and honestly, they'll be happy to help you. And more than that, I would even think that they'll admire you because of your openness. The second thing that you can do is open up a dictionary. Honestly, for all those who are serious about learning a second language, you must have some type of dictionary app on your phone if you don't have it already. I myself am learning Chinese, so I've got a Chinese dictionary on my phone. You should have an official dictionary on your phone too. But there's another great resource besides an official dictionary, because remember, double meanings also contain colloquial meanings. And one of the best unofficial dictionaries is Urban Dictionary. In there, you'll find a lot of terms, both phrases, words that are ordinary words and also slang words, and all of their meanings. And if you can pull this out really quickly during the conversation, I think that it'll help you understand things so much more. So today I talked about words and phrases with double meanings, but honestly, there are so many double meanings, so if you'd like us to do more, just let us know. Because there are different categories from, hey, your ordinary colloquial double meanings. Then there are also sexual ones, which are often called double entendres, even though double entendres don't necessarily just have to be sexual. Then there are also what I would call literary ones which most English speakers will recognize if they have a familiarity with classical books, movies, media, etc. And then there are also poetic and even religious and spiritual ones. There's a whole world of double meanings. And again, I'd like to remind you that we have a new episode which comes out every Friday. Also, look at our description box for more information and links that are related to the things that I talked about today. And also, don't forget that we have a podcast. And finally, if you like what we're doing, subscribe. This is Genesis again with Peas in a Pod. Thank you so much for your time. I'll see you guys later.